Hey everybody, Louis Skibo here from Power Mods. We're here to brighten your day up. Actually your night. But these will brighten your day, there's no doubt about it. We're going to install these Nextech LED lights on our new snowplow / dump truck. When you're doing a lot of plowing with the lot truck, you need a lot of light. And these babies are going to do it. We've got this spot, actually that's a floodlight right there. This is the spotlight. They have 12 LED Cree bulbs in them. And you're looking at about 11,000, almost 11,000 lumens for each one of these lights. They have a protective cover on them. I don't really care about those. I'll probably pop that off because we're going to be using it on the property and I'm not worried about rocks flying up and hitting those. But that's what that's for. It's like a polycarbonate type cover to protect your little LED bulbs in there. 5-year warranty on these babies, and they are tough as nails. I can tell you right now, I've worked them pretty hard. Left them on for long periods of time. They're great for, I know you're not supposed to use these on the road, boys. But when you're riding the back roads and keeping an eye out for moose and deer, you can't beat them. I've got the big long 40-inch light bar, but these are gonna fit perfectly on the Ford where those running lights go just above the snowplow itself. But you can't use them on the road because they're too bright. And when I say bright, they're really bright. But the reason I'm going with a spotlight and a flood is because I want one for distance. I want one to brighten my world up right in front of me. So like I said, 5-year warranty. Look, a lot of guys are gonna say, well, I can buy those at whatever place for $100. They've got just as many bulbs, but they're not even close. Yeah, they're not even close. I can tell you right now, if you do a comparison, I won't even buy one of those things. I get contacted by these companies in China all the time. You know, try our lights out. They're $100 a piece for a 40-inch light bar, and they're curved and everything. They don't last. They're not waterproof. They're not near as bright. They're pumping them out pretty fast and not quality. Nextech, that's the company these come from. I'll put their information in the description. They spec everything out. They're a bunch of engineers. You know them very well. Nextech Carbon Sled. They produce some high quality products and they are not going to be bringing in junk. I can tell you right now. And even though it says 5-year warranty, I know they'll look after you. That's just the way it is. Let's get these babies installed on our new truck. These big ones come with their own wiring harness. Everything is there you need to install them. And it's really simple. You even have the switch and we're good to go. Let's do it. Don't mind the look of the shop. Boys, she's a little dirty. This is the business area right back here. That other area we were just in, well, that's where some of the fancy stuff gets done. I don't even know if these babies work. She's a beaut. 7.5 liters awesomeness gas engine. Just cut the exhaust off it because it's getting a little loose. But this will never come off the property, this truck. So we're not worried about replacing these highway type of lights. Now look at, you don't want to run those lights in somebody's face. Extremely bright. You know how bright poor quality LEDs are. These babies here will blind somebody. You don't want to do that. You don't do that to your friends. Friends on the highway. Look at that. I'm turning this whole light. Look at that. Zoom. There we go. Well, that was easy. Now they have several mounting bolts here, so you can mount them in, but I want to be able to turn these and mount them any way I want. Get out of there. All stainless steel hardware. They have a large heat sink back here to dissipate the heat, because these puppies, they're warm. You're looking at about 120 watts. I'll tighten that up in a minute. I knew that was going to happen. One thing lacking on these old Fords, a lot of these old trucks, especially now if you're used to driving a newer vehicle, the lights, the headlights, not very good, not very bright. They don't brighten your world. They kind of make things dull and yellow. We don't like that. We're going to fix all that. We'll get this done and then course, we'll go to the property and we'll light them up at night. We need the snow though. We also have a set of these to install on a tractor for the work in the fields at night. Those guys work hard. Oh, this is great. There we go. These are going to be unbelievable. Now, these are all IP68 rated, so that means they're waterproof. IP68 is an international kind of rating system everybody uses. I think it's kind of based on military stats or what do you call them? Military specs. It's all basically military spec stuff. These go through a series of tests, of course. Can't find my smaller ratchet. It's up at the property. That's Jamie's fault. I'm just gonna leave it kind of there. I'm not gonna tighten that up until I figure out where I want them. This one here is the floodlight. You can tell because the little lenses on each LED are kind of, that's what it is a diffuser on there. For diffusing that light, making that light your friend. Because they're good. I've rolled my machine on top of them, left them outside, extended periods of time, no problems, frozen. Got frozen in a bucket of water once. We have something pretty cool coming up as well. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag because it's a secret. It's gonna be fun. How tough do you think these lights are? We'll find out. It's all stainless steel hardware, so when you want to undo this or make adjustments, it's not going to be all seized up on you. And this is mainly going to see snow. And in the summer, we'll be running dirt with this as well around the property. My wife said that she wants to run this truck. I'm like, what? Okie dokie. I better put some good lights on it. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Now the wiring. And this is actually pretty simple, which is good for old Louie. We like it simple around here. Each light is going to have its own wiring harness, of course. They got switches on them and relays and fuses and all that, so it's all worked out for you. And they have these watertight type connectors on here. Very common connector. If you need them, for some reason, you step on one, you bust it, you can get one. Replace it. Pop that hood.
That's more than enough.
Yeah, I just wanted it. There's a protective coating on this. I kind of wanted it over that metal part. There we go. One. I always like to do this because I usually can't contain myself. If it's got lights and I can plug it in and look, you better come back here behind me. I think it's going to get bright. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a flood. Loving it. Now we're just going to see how much room we have. If we have to, we'll lengthen these, of course, and make sure we can get them inside. A lot of times they have old holes poked through the firewall, running all kinds of cables and lights. So I'm going to utilize one of those so I don't have to recut anything. I want to cut holes in my firewall. That's not a good thing to do. Oh, there's my spare tire thing. Okay, focus. Really focus. I'm just going to hook up these positive cables or feeds to these lights, just so I can snug them up and make sure that everything fits. But I'm not going to hook up the grounds because, you know, technically you don't really hook up your electrical source until everything's installed. That's what they say. It's not what I always do. This is just for fitment. I want to make sure I have enough cable to get inside the cab. That's how I roll. Okay. I'm just running these cables along the front here, tightening them up a little bit, cleaning them up. Now look, obviously, if you're looking at this truck, we're not going all out in this install. This truck will never leave my property, so I'm not too concerned about how this really looks. And I'm not really sure if I ever am in any event. Make sure that any of these wires that you're running aren't really going to chafe on anything that's sharp, any sharp edges. Make sure they're not near your headers or your exhaust system in any way. These wire harnesses are awesome. If you're concerned about lengths of wire harnesses to make sure that you can get inside your cab, you know, batteries are on one side, both sides sometimes. Sometimes they're, you know, shoved underneath the back seat of your car. Ask the guys at Nextech what wiring harness is going to work best for you. Sometimes you might just need to splice something up and just make it work. I mean, that's just generally what we do anyway, right? We make stuff work. And they don't know every application, so they can't have a ton of different harnesses. But I did find a nice little place in my firewall where these will just sort of poke in. And it was just a grommet, just down here. A lot of firewalls have them for, you know, different types of vehicles. They have different options on them, so, you know, they'll leave a hole in the firewall to pass some wires through or whatever. And that's where we're at. We're pretty lucky right now. I can pretty much run these cables wherever I want, these switches, because there's tons of harness here, and that's excellent. Oh, you know what? They're gonna go right there. That's perfect. I can reach underneath that dash, right here. Now I've got this little reaming tool here. Hope you guys can see it. Can you see it on that light?
Yep.
This little reaming tool. You wanna take off that excess that's on there. Your switch won't fit very well if you don't. And another thing you gotta do, you gotta make sure you put your wires on the right way. So red is what the little light is, blue, black. There we go, now you just feed your wires through. Oh, the old Ford, she needs a little bit of TLC, fellas. You have to bring some BioClean cleaning products in here and have the kids go nuts with it. That'll be the last cleaning it'll ever see. Now, this actually has a handy little LED light on there as well, so it'll tell you when there's power in here. And the blue. Yeah, I do remember these. I remember them. Oh, I like it. Same with this one.
This is arms down.
Hey?
Or arms up.
Yeah, because I see the light better when it's all like that.
Okay.
If you go into my house, you look at this, sometimes some taps you turn on. Some are cold, some are hot. A little backwards sometimes. Why'd I just put the back on? I need to put this through here. You got me distracted. I like my switches contrary to what everybody else does, apparently. Because I like to push down for on, because it's just there, ready to go on. See? Should be the new standard. Standard and awesomeness. We'll put this in, and then we will try them out. Put a little bend on there. There we go. And we'll tidy up all the lighting, or all the wiring. I can try out that new snow plow. It's got a 9-foot Fisher blade. It's a beast of a thing. Everything's a beast. Everybody says that. Why do you call everything a beast? Because it is. They're all beasts. One of the best parts about this whole thing, I didn't have to do any cutting and splicing. Love that. Don't like that sometimes. Just too time consuming. I like to slap things on and make them go. There. Now, tidy up the rest of these. Like this. here. Now let's try those lights out. So we've got those Nextech lights installed and we finally have snow, so we're gonna do some plowing tonight. It's a beautiful night. It's like 0 degrees, just at that freezing point, but there's no breeze. It's actually very nice and quiet here in the bush. We'll start up the truck, and I don't have the headlights on this truck right now. Those Nextech LED lights, they're not legal for plowing on the roads, but they're just gonna be perfect in here. Perfect for agricultural types of conditions, farmers, fields, industrial, plowing, just awesome lights. So you gotta see this, watch this. Now what I did earlier, and I think I told you this in the video because I made that video a while ago, I've got a flood and a spot. So I've got one that goes right down the road and I've got another one that lights the whole road up. So we're gonna go give this a try. And boy, it is nice. I used it on one section, but I haven't used it on the long section of the road yet. Let's go give it a try and see how these babies light up the night. Flood, spot. That's heavy snow. You know, there's something very satisfying about plowing. I don't know what it is, but it just feels good. You get things nice and tidied up. My son called it Plower Mods. He said, you should call that truck Plower Mods. So that's what we're gonna call it. We had a great time out here. The weather's beautiful. Couldn't ask for a better night to do this. I've got a little bit more cleaning up to do. I'm gonna go do that right now. Gotta thank you guys for coming back as usual. When you contact Nextech, make sure you tell them Louis Skibo from Power Mods sent you. And don't forget, you can use these on your ATVs, your UTVs, your 4x4s, your industrial equipment, your farm equipment, your plow trucks. If you need a light, they got it for you. These babies right here, unbelievable, 10,800 lumens each. It's like daylight on demand. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep coming back. I love it when you show up. Plower Mods coming through. Oh yeah.